Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the middle of November 2025. You have this cheetah, it says speediness, shrewdness, and loquacious. You have this skunk, it says conflict avoidance, discretion, and lunar energy here. I do feel like this is saying don't avoid conflict. It's like maybe you're thinking that something is going to create a conflict and you're like trying to avoid it, but I almost feel like that skunk spirit is kind of asking you to like stick up for yourself or don't be afraid of something that could potentially create a conflict because it might be good for you. You know, it's like sometimes I think there are things that could go wrong, but that doesn't mean we should avoid them because, you know, those things can make us very successful. And so I feel it's asking you to be like a little bit brave, bold, assertive, you know, all those other things. I do feel speed here as well. You know, that cheetah says speediness. And, you know, things could be happening very quickly for you in the middle of the month. I do feel that the beginning of this month was very slow. You know, it's weird because it's already the 14th, which I can't believe. But I don't even know how that happened. But you know, I also feel like the first 2 weeks have been like slow. I feel like nothing's happened. It's weird. It's like even just looking at things I've been working on, like I feel like I didn't get anything done this month. So, you know, even though we have 2 weeks left, but you know that could be changing, which is good. You start here in the first card in the Celtic Cross is how you enter into the reading, and you have the Magician, which is great. You know, the Magician basically says you can have whatever you want in the reading. You know, it's a card of manifestation. So he wants you to manifest something in your life that you're trying to manifest. And he also wants you to change. You know, he has this snake wrapped around his waist here, and it's the Ouroboros, and it represents reinvention. We have Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is great for any word that has RE in front of it. So, you know, reinvention is great during this time. And if there is a person that you want to become, you know, meaning more than who you are right now, I would put the work in to make that happen. I think it is a great time for reinvention. You know, this is the year of the snake, as I've said to many other people this year in the Chinese astrology, right? Year of the Snake is about shedding your skin. It's about, you know, kind of really stepping into your power and really stepping into the person that you want to be. You could even be deciding like what tools you want to use. You know, he has all the suits in the tarot in front of him, and he has mastery over all the suits, so he can decide like what tool he wants to use for a job. And I kind of almost feel like well, let me just say this. I'm not really ready to say this for you, Scorpio, but I almost feel like this card is saying that you are ready to choose the new beginning you want, basically. These are all the ace versions of the suit. So it's like the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles in front of him. And aces are new beginnings. It's almost like this card, like, again, I'm not ready to say this just yet, but almost that you are going to be able to like pick what type of new beginning you want, right? It could be a creative new beginning. It could be a victory that you're trying to have. It could be love. It could be your pentacles that you're trying to have a new beginning with. But, you know, even though I need to see more, and maybe we will when we clarify, you know, I would still do it. I would pick a new beginning. The other thing I want to point out before I forget is that he's pointing over here to the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. Eight of Swords says there are many ways for you to do anything, right? So again, if you're using a tool for a job, if you're trying to get something to work that isn't working, you might just need to change the tool. Your crossing energy, which is the energy that can hurt you or help you in a Celtic cross, is the Two of Pentacles. Yes, Scorpio, I don't know that this is hurting you, but I do feel this is something that could be getting in the way. I feel like you're doing too much, or you're trying to do too much, or you're having to do too much. I think the fixed signs this year, you know, for the rest of 2025, I would say, you know, really until like March of next year, you need to make sure that you're coming up with simple solutions. Don't automatically jump to the complex answer, right? And I also think fixed signs, you being one of them, should just like pick one thing and get it done, right? Like whatever it is. You know, you might have a lot of goals or a lot of things that you going on in your life, but I would really kind of like pick a focus because you will get it done. And I think you'll be very happy that you did. Again, I always tell the story, like for years of my life, for many, many years, I had all these ideas in my life and I tried to do everything at once and I never got anything done for years on end, right? But I said, then after that period of time, I set a rule for myself. Every 90 days, I pick one thing and that's it. That's the thing I work on. And the other thing is, people always ask me, why 90 days? And number one, I don't know. I just picked it, right? But number two, it seems to be a good amount of time to give something where if it's going to work, it'll work, right? During that 90 days. And maybe it does take the full 90 days. Some things have. But if it's not going to work, then it's not going to work in that 90 days, right? It just seems to be a good amount of time to invest in something where it's like not too much, it's not too little. And now, instead of getting nothing done every single year, I usually get at least like 2 or 3 big things done, and I get a lot more done, right? So I think if you're the type of person that has a lot of ideas, it can be hard because you want to do everything, but just write down your ideas so you don't forget them. But again, I understand the struggle of wanting to do a lot in life and feeling like you have to do it all. But again, like I said, I had to learn the hard way that, sometimes it's better to just pick one thing. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the 3 of Cups. Pretty good, because 3 of Cups is like celebrating a harvest. These 3 ladies here are celebrating this harvest that's going on around them. So you could be celebrating a harvest, I feel, with the 3 of Cups, or some sort of something that's coming in for you. But it's almost like you're thinking about a harvest. I do feel this could involve other people, of course. So if you're like working on a project or group project, or if you're working on something that could involve needing the help of other people, I feel that this 3 of Cups is going to be very good for you, Scorpio. So I would definitely work with other people. I literally said to Cancer that everyone would have something about happiness in the second half of this month, and I basically haven't been wrong. You have the 10 of Cups. Pisces and Cancer both had the 10 of Cups, and I've only done 3 readings so far. You being one of them. And so I think everybody is basically going to get the 10 of Cups. There's something about the end of this month where, I feel like the universe is really saying we need to make sure that we're bringing happiness down to earth. So 3 of Cups is about choosing to have a celebration, choosing to socialize, choosing to go have fun, right? And I would make that choice. Next, in your foundation, you have the Temperance card. Temperance, of course, is patience, and this is coming up in the area of your foundation. And sometimes I feel with the Temperance card that he's being too patient. He's trying to turn water into wine, but we have this path back here, and this is called the path to glory. He could easily go claim that crown. And so I kind of feel like this is saying that you're ready for something, basically, Scorpio. It's like something that you're trying to accomplish or something that you want in your life. I feel that it's just saying go and get it. It's saying, like, don't keep waiting. Go make whatever this goal or whatever this achievement would be happen, and stop waiting around, right? Next, in your past position, this is the energy of what you're moving past. You have this card. It says your secrets are safe. You have this black cat. It says your luck will change soon, which is good. We are in a lucky time. Again, I said it in one of your earlier readings this month that we have this water trine that's happening this month. And it's really lucky, I think, for water signs for sure. And even though we have the Mercury retrograde, again, the Mercury retrograde isn't going to cancel out the luck. Water trines are very powerful, very positive. They're kind of like portals as well. They can bring energy in. On top of that, it's happening with Jupiter. And yes, Jupiter is retrograde, but Jupiter is always positive no matter what. So even if it's retrograde, it really basically, doesn't really change much. So I feel there is a lot of luck that could be coming in for you now. You have the 6 of Swords also in the energy of what you are moving past. And the 6 of Swords is moving past something. So you are clearly moving on to calmer shores. And this could be like some sort of difficulty or challenge that you faced in the past. But I really don't feel much here for you, Scorpio. Just, all I can say is that it feels like letting go energy to me. So it's like you're letting go of something at this time. And, obviously you're all different. So you probably know what this is already. But yeah, I just feel like you're letting something go. Next, in the area of your very near future, what do you know? You have this Happy Happy card and this Come to the Edge card. The Happy Happy card is one of my favorite cards in this deck. This girl is like channeling happiness through the top of her head. So I feel like you have to choose happiness right now and do things that bring more happiness into your life. But I feel like you are going to be very happy. I mean, your outcome is the 10 of Cups, which literally would say you are going to be very happy, during this end of the month period of time. The Come to the Edge card is about pushing yourself to that point where you would normally give up and kind of like going one step further. I mean, really, it is an amazing time, I think, for everyone to do that. I mean, I encourage people to do this all the time. Like, that is pretty much what we have to do right now if we want to be successful in anything. We have to go to that point where we would normally quit, and we have to take one more step. And if you do that, then obviously you'll probably find some success. Also, in the very near future, you have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is probably about you trying something again. You know, he's got these 3 cups in front of him, and he's been disappointed. He's getting this new cup right here, and that cup obviously looks exactly the same as these other cups. So he's getting an opportunity to do something that he's done before, and maybe he has failed like 3 times before. And so I'm pretty sure that in your last reading, we said that you are getting a second chance. Definitely looks like that in this reading as well, where you are revisiting something that maybe you worked on in the past and you're like trying it again, or you're doing it again. And I feel it would be an amazing time for you to try something again that you've tried in the past. Now, he's not accepting that cup. So you have to accept this cup into your life. And that could be the new beginning that we were talking about with the magician. He just has to realize that he has learned from these 3 cups, and all he has to do is apply what he learned to this 1 cup, and he will be successful. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you're going to be taking another stab at something that you've tried before. Next, in the area of your outcome row, you have this success in love. It says romantic love, falling in love, new love, successful outcome in love, mutual love, intimacy, loyalty. There you go. You have the short illness. It says short rest, poor health, blockage, temporary problems, weakness, unhealthy atmosphere, standstill. What I would say here is that, yes, we really need to stay healthy right now. I'm not too worried about this. Again, I think it's saying stay healthy. We have the South Node in Virgo. South Node in Virgo can be a little bit tricky. We have Neptune retrograde in Pisces. I literally predicted the COVID in 2016 because I said that Neptune in Pisces rules anything that flows, but also rules poison, disease, things like that. So, you know, I didn't surprise me when it happened. And with Neptune retrograde, you know, can definitely bring things back around. So I would make sure you're staying healthy. But love looks good. So if you want love, there you go. Next, in the area of your next few months, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a problem for fixed signs for sure. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. Part of me feels that your solution is the Three of Cups. So if you're stuck in any area of your life, you know, getting help from other people or learning from other people could be very beneficial. Another part of me feels like the Magician is also part of your solution. You know, if you start something one way and it doesn't work, just try another way. It can just be that simple with the Eight of Swords. You know, it's like, it feels to me like you are so close to something, but you just have to like shift it, you know, a little bit, you know, in a different direction here. And, you know, it's like, maybe the response will be different. It kind of reminds me of social media. It's like sometimes, you know, I work a lot with people on social media, and it's like sometimes they'll say to me, like, I don't want to do YouTube. Like, they'll create a bunch of YouTube videos and they'll say, I don't want to do YouTube, I want to do Instagram. I'm like, try it. It's like, maybe that different approach will work better for you. And obviously, I post like thousands of pieces of content a month, literally. And so, you know, I have pieces of content that have like 600,000 views on Instagram, for example, that have like 10,000 views on YouTube. So, you know, I'm not saying you have to start a YouTube channel, but, you know, what I'm saying is it's like sometimes we just have to change the environment, you know. And didn't you have a card that basically said that? I thought you had a card that said something. I might be making that up, but you know, I kind of feel like just changing the environment a little bit here could be very beneficial for you, especially if you're working on something. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, this is all relationships in your life. You have the Six of Cups. Very good for all relationships. You know, it's like a fun, childlike, playful energy. So you could be having a good time with like friends or family members or people that you're close to. If you want love, it can represent a soulmate. You know, a lot of people read this as a card of a person from the past, but, you know, as I always say, This is the card of innocence and nostalgia. It can just represent thinking about the past. It does not mean a person is coming back from the past. And, really, I feel like it's a new person anyway. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a new person. Like I said, the whole entire reading, obviously, you have 900 cards here that say you need to be happy. The Six of Cups is childlike energy. It is about being childlike. It is about being playful, just enjoying life, doing fun things. And even if you can only do it a little bit, I would do more fun things. I think it'll help you in your life in general. You have the Four of Pentacles in the area of your future feelings. Four of Pentacles is pretty stable, pretty secure. It's not bad, Scorpio, but the thing is this card right here, the Come to the Edge card, this is like just only pushing yourself to the point, where of your capabilities. Four of Pentacles, right? He just does what he's always done. This card wants you to push yourself a little bit more in this reading. So I would say, don't get stuck in comfort zones with the Four of Pentacles and just take one extra step, right? And you don't have to go crazy here. You don't have to take any, major insane risk with the Four of Pentacles, but I definitely feel the reading itself is saying just push yourself a teeny tiny little bit this month. And it's a Mercury retrograde, right? You shouldn't be burning yourself out anyway. But, if you can just do something just a little bit extra, I think you will be surprised with the outcome. Your outcome is the Ten of Cups. You will be very happy. So, Ten of Cups is like ultimate happiness. It's fortune after difficulty, big improvements, happy home, happy family, really good for love if you're looking for love. So you have a very positive outcome. But again, I think the positive outcome is going to come from you taking that one extra step, just teeny tiny, right? Doesn't even have to be anything spectacular here. So let's see. Sorry, that did not work at all. I don't know if you saw that spread, but it was terrible. With the Magician and the Two of Pentacles, you have these Two of Swords. You have this card here that says short illness, and it says, on the card, it said, temporary problems, weakness, unhealthy atmosphere, standstill, right? Two of Swords is a standstill. It's being stuck in a stalemate. So the Two of Swords wants us to look for a different solution. She has this island behind her, and that island behind her is like a third place solution. So much like the Eight of Swords, the Two of Swords, she's only looking at two solutions when there's another one right here. So the Two of Swords wants you to stay open and not fixed, wants you to be flexible at this time, Scorpio. With the Three of Cups, you have the Ten of Cups. I think I connected the Three of Cups and the Ten of Cups at the beginning of the reading, but definitely a major focus on happiness and doing things that will make you more happy, spending time with people who are close to you. Three Cups can be a reunion, and the Ten of Cups can be your community or family. So a lot of you could be reuniting with family or having more fun with family or people who are close to you. And I think that would be a great thing to focus on this month, of course, is family, friends, people who are close to you. With the Temperance card, you have the Temperance card. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said right here. The Temperance card is patience, but, Temperance is alchemy. It's turning one thing into another. So the Temperance card wants you to turn, kind of create a turnaround for yourself, which I think is, this card here, the Come to the Edge card, is how you're going to create some sort of turnaround. With the Six of Swords, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles is, didn't I say, I was talking about the whole 90-day thing, right? Eight of Pentacles is working on one thing. He is working on one project, and he is finishing it. He is almost done, so he's not giving up, right? He's seeing something through to the end, and that is definitely going to be, kind of a little bit of a, I don't know what to call it. I was going to say a superpower, but it's not really a superpower. It's just like a thing that you should do, Scorpio. Especially next year when Saturn moves back into Aries in February. Saturn in Aries is we have to pick something to finish, and we have to finish it. And so if you do that now and you finish something by February, you're going to get the benefits from Saturn in Aries when Saturn moves back into Aries, right? So I would see something through to the end that you're working on. With the Four of Cups, you have the Judgment card. Judgment is waking up to your purpose. These people are being called out of these coffins. This is their higher self angel right here. The coffin is their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. And so again, with the Four of Cups, if you're getting an opportunity to do something that you've done before, this could be your opportunity to like do it differently, to take a different approach. Or with the come to the edge card, it could say that maybe you've given up on something like 4 times before or 3 times before, and now you're being given an opportunity to like see it through to the end. So, it seems to me like you're just kind of revisiting something you want in your life and you're finishing it. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. There you go. This is what I was waiting for with the Magician. So the Ace of Cups, could be love, but it doesn't have to be. This could be the new beginning that you're having. And with so much happiness in this reading, the Ace of Cups is overflowing. It has all this water flowing out of it, and it can easily reach down to the water below it and fill itself back up. So the Ace of Cups is about doing things that you can do endlessly. It's about causing that cup to overflow. And so I think a lot of you could be doing things that cause your cup to overflow, basically. Or really that's what you should be focusing on, is doing things that cause more happiness to flow in your life, because it'll make a better life. With the Six of Cups, you have the Three of Swords. Yeah, I would be careful still of X's at this time. I mean, this Mercury retrograde, I've definitely seen a lot of X's coming back, so which normally I don't. But, Three of Swords is about healing. Really, the trick with the Three of Swords is forgiveness. We have to remove those swords from our heart so that we can heal, and we have to forgive the past. We don't have to forgive the past directly. We just have to forgive them in our heart so that we can move forward. It's kind of like saying, I do feel that you have the opportunity for love. But, again, I think that making sure that you are healed is going to be a good thing with the Three of Swords, of course. Also, with the health thing, again, Three of Swords is a great card for making sure that you stay healthy, so yes. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands can be conflict or competition, of course. I think you need to study the competition. With the Four of Pentacles, again, it's like he could be like protecting what he has from the competition. So if you are working on a business or a career or doing anything where there is competition, the Five of Wands doesn't say avoid competition. The Five of Wands says study the competition, see what they're doing and what they're not doing, and then fill in the gaps, right? Do whatever the competition is not doing. We are in a time where we have an amazing opportunity to really set ourselves apart in life right now, right? And so we have to come up with new approaches to what we're working on, and wherever we're trying to stand out, we need to do something unique. And really, this is going to get more intense next year when Uranus moves back into Gemini, but I would start now. Uranus has already been in Gemini, so I would start studying the competition and just brainstorm. Think about how you can stand out. With the Ten of Cups here, what do you know? You start and end with the Magician. So the Magician basically says you can have whatever you want. The Magician is about manifestation. But again, I definitely feel this is really talking about some sort of new beginning coming in for you. I always pull the card that he's pointing to. We're going to say it's this one. This card says half-truths. It says partial truth, get more information, white lies, missing part of the story, cover up well-intended lie. So again, if you're dealing with people, I would make sure that you're getting the truth from the people that you're dealing with at this time. You have this wheel card. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Yes, pick one thing and make it happen, right? It's like if you have too many ideas, Two of Pentacles, if you're spinning too many plates, then I think that's just going to lead to confusion and indecisiveness. I think you just need to pick one thing and work on it. You have this Scissors card. It says disappointment in some affair. I almost feel like you're finally releasing a disappointment. It's like sometimes, I wonder if you have a hard time letting go of things that don't work. Four Cups showing up in this reading. And, I feel like maybe you're finally healing past it. You have this Vulture. It says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Yeah, I talk about this all the time, that we had Mars retrograde last year into this year in Leo. The last Mercury retrograde was in Leo. We're going to have Jupiter go retrograde next year in Leo. And so, whenever we have one after another within a short period of time, a year, which is short in astrological terms, then it's like calling back the original energy, right? So Mars retrograde. During Mars retrograde, we can definitely feel like people are doing things behind our back, but it might not be true. It could be true as well. But the whole point of Mars retrograde is to ignore it. You have this diamond. It says you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. Yeah, 10 of Cups twice. It's like fortune after difficulty here, Scorpio. So you definitely are entering into a very happy time. And of course, you end with this tinker that says celebration, fun, and enjoyment, right? So all those things we talked about. You have a billion happy cards here that want you to focus on your own happiness, and maybe that's the only thing you should focus on is like, do these things I do this month, do they cause me to overflow? If the answer is yes, then do those things, right? It's pretty simple. So this looks pretty good, Scorpio. I like it. Thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your month.